True Believers, Drill Pal Spider-Man. Good morning, Cadre. It's KJ again. Today we're going to use Hallows, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to mix in a little bit of CBL Dragon's Blood and just do something a little bit different. I'm using the Hallows all month, but still looking for some variety, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to be using my first Badger brush was this Ever Ready. Doesn't get a lot of use now. A lot of the tips are worn off and broken, and it's showing some age, but it's one of my favorite brushes, and I just love this style of handle, this shape, and that is why, where'd it go? I like the Paladin Buck Rogers so much. They weren't modeled after this brush, but they were modeled after a similar brush, and they have a similar type shape, so that's why I like these, because this was my first brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to load about 5 seconds or so on the Dragon's Blood, and then I'm going to start loading up some of the Hallows. I think the 2 cents will play pretty well together. So it is Wednesday, which for me means tonight is a bingo night at the VFW. I haven't ridden my motorcycle in a very long time. I just rode it on Sunday for the first time in about a month since before my surgery. And it's starting to get a little cool out here, so it was a pretty chilly ride home. I went and saw a movie on Sunday, went and saw Halloween, and it was about 50 degrees when I drove home that night, which isn't bad, but with the wind chill on the bike, it was a little chilly. But today it's 38 degrees right now. It's probably going to be 39 degrees when I leave here to head home. It's going to be 60 this afternoon. Which this time of year always sucks. Sucks when it's so cold in the morning that you gotta wear a big heavy jacket, but then it's warm enough in the afternoon that you just want to be wearing a t-shirt. But I want to get on the bike and ride as much as I can. I got it partially as a tool to conserve gas and conserve wear and tear on my Honda Pilot. It's about 9 years old and 130,000 miles on it. It's starting to have a little bit of issue that I'd rather not have to put a ton of money into it. So I'd like to stretch it out until I can afford to get a new vehicle. Because right now I don't have any car payment. So I don't have the extra money for a car payment right now, so it's going to take me about a year or so before I can afford to have a car payment. I'll get rid of some other bills first. So, I really want to ride the bike. But it's going to be chilly this morning, so I'm just going to have to suck it up on the way to work. And then it'll be fine this afternoon. I'll ride it to bingo. It'll be about 60 degrees then, and it'll probably get down to about 50 tonight on the ride home, which won't be so bad. I got a nice jacket, one that Dave in Kentucky gave me. It works really well. It keeps me nice and warm. But it's nicely vented too, so it was actually a really good jacket all around for during the summer and in the fall. It's got a liner too, so when it gets really cold, I can put that back in it. But it's mainly my hands and front of my legs below my knees that are hitting the wind. So I'm sure my hands are going to be cold when I get to work. I'd say despite the fact that I was only on the Dragon's Blood puck for a few seconds and did most of the loading on the Hallows, the Dragon's Blood is the dominant scent here, which is interesting. Not totally surprising because the Dragon's Blood is pretty strong. So for today's open comb, October shave, I'm going to be using a Weck. This is a made in Germany, and you can see by the logo there, not focusing, but it's a Merkur. It says made in Germany under the safety bar base plate. I don't know if this is actually the same Weck as in the Weck Sexta-Blade. I've heard that it was made by Merkur for Weck, and I've also heard that it was just sold in Germany under a coincidental name, Weck. I don't know. This one is a really mild razor, so it's one that I really do like using. Again, when you load up the blade is actually resting pretty much right on the safety bar, or the open combs rather. So there's not much, if any, blade gap, and so you don't have a lot of blade feel. Well, I was hoping that adding some CBL soap was gonna help with slickness, but my face kind of dried out again in between the pass. So I guess I got enough for scent, but not enough to up the performance too much. So, a congratulations to Jim, Wild West 74. He won my Sir Irish Moose Piff. I got that boxed up for him. Should get it out in the mail today if I can make it to the post office. 2 more piffs to go. One more in Thanksgiving, it'll be my Thanksgiving piff, but one more in November, and then one in December. And I know one of them is gonna have some vintage soaps in it. Been getting ready for the last few days. I'm gonna have a party this weekend. Kind of a delayed housewarming party / Halloween party. I closed on my house last year on October 30th, so I've been in my house almost a year. And I delayed my housewarming party just because still wasn't unpacked, still wasn't cleaned up, and I still got boxes everywhere, but I'm getting there. Enough that I can have some people over for a while at least. So it's Halloween party. I told people that costumes were encouraged. I don't care if they don't come in costume, but it'd be more fun if they did. And another reason for having a party is I got on a really big craft beer kick. I found a few beers that I really, really liked and bought a whole bunch of them. And then I started my keto diet. And all the beers that I bought have too many carbs in them. So I don't drink them anymore. So I was looking for a party. I'm looking for an avenue of getting rid of them. I sold a bunch of them. To some friends that were having parties and gave them to them super cheap. So they got a good deal on some beer, and I got rid of stuff. But I still have a whole bunch left, so I'm trying to get rid of it at this party, but I know I'm still not gonna get through everything that I have. Not too bad, not totally smooth, but pretty decent shave. The Weck gave me a pretty decent shave, relatively comfortable. I don't know, it was not quite as, I mean, the shave itself is pretty good, but it just wasn't quite as comfortable throughout the whole shave, especially that last pass. So it's one that I'll pick up every now and then and use, but nothing that's going to be something that I use on a regular basis. In general, just open combs don't really do it for me, and October is really when I pull them out and they get the most use. So I did this off camera yesterday, but following up with my Hallows aftershave. Oh, so yesterday I was at work and one of the girls came into the office and said, "It smells like an old church in here." I'm like, what the heck? I was like, yeah, it smells like an old priest or an old church or something. An old Catholic priest. I'm like, what the heck? So then she called me over to her computer so I could help her with something real quick. And she goes, "It's you." And whatever's in the Hallows, if it's got some frankincense or some sort of spice in it, that's what was evoking that memory for her. So I thought that was funny that she thought I smelled like a Catholic church or a Catholic priest. I don't know. I dig it. I told her, stay away from me for the rest of the month because this is what I'm wearing every single day. Anyways, that's my shave. Hope you guys had a good time hanging out with me this morning. Check us out on the forums, www.theshavingcodger.com. I'm Spider, and we'll see y'all around. Peace.